Hidden in the boxes surrounding the screen, I have the 5 worst case scenarios for UFC 316. First one we'll mention is the co-main event. Kayla Harrison misses weight. You see how jacked Kayla Harrison is looking? I feel like somehow she's like putting on muscle as she's cut down in body weight. It's a recipe for disaster as far as weight cutting goes. Because if she can't win the belt, does this eliminate Amanda Nunes' interest in making a comeback to the UFC? Because I doubt Amanda Nunes gives a flying shit about doing the trilogy with Juliana Pena. Kayla Harrison needs to not only win, but she needs to be on point with the weight. The worry is, though, she's about as jacked as some of the damn men's welterweights. Looking at the recent weigh-ins too, 136 pounds, 136 pounds. We've yet to see 135 in the UFC. And she was fighting up at women's lightweight over in PFL. I'm terrified of her coming in a little bit over. Now, I think she's going to do everything she can to get on weight, and I'll keep my fingers crossed tight because I think she's going to make weight. The biggest fear I have, though, is let's say she does even make weight, but she loses. The loses part is probably worse. I'm doing this as a two-piece, all right? Is that against the rules? No, because I make the damn rules. Kayla Harrison losing to Juliana Pena destroys women's MMA. I mean, outside of like Valentina Shevchenko and Weili Zhang, the women's bantamweight division is then put on life support. If Juliana Pena somehow regains the throne, I don't care how tough she is. Yes, Juliana's a brawler. Yes, she pulled off a crazy upset against Amanda Nunes. Yes, she doesn't quit on herself. She's really not good. I mean, Raquel Pennington could have got that decision nod. This should be a complete domination. Kayla Harrison should have a showcase fight here. This shouldn't even be a back and forth close one. Kayla should drag Juliana Pena to the ground, control her and beat the shit out of her, and probably TKO her, especially when you reflect on the damn betting lines. What are you looking at? Minus 800? Minus 750? Minus 600 at best, maybe? Kayla Harrison's supposed to dog walk Juliana. This is like a championship fight that's like a layup fight. Because what's this supposed to lead to? Is this Amanda Nunes super fight? Kayla Harrison obviously was a queen of PFL and then comes over to the UFC and are now undefeated and kind of, the challenge that for years has been discussed, right? With Amanda Nunes and her, formerly both at ATT. Now Amanda Nunes, when I think she does train for fights, is going to be doing her own camps, which could be a recipe for disaster against like a well-tuned machine in Kayla Harrison. Nonetheless, Amanda Nunes and Kayla could run it at 145, worst case scenario, but the UFC absolved that division. I don't think they want to take steps backwards, and God forbid, now we're going to add a women's weight class? As bad as the UFC might be doing and making marquee matchups right now, that we're doing women's 145. I get it. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes is a big fight. I think it's a big fight, even if you consider men's MMA in the mix. It's not just a big women's fight. It's one of the bigger fights the UFC could make, I think. I'd be excited for it. Who the fuck's not excited for an Amanda Nunes fight? In a physical beast and specimen, Kayla Harrison across the other side of the octagon with a legit chance to drag Amanda's ass to the ground. Count me in. Hopeful as hell that she makes weight. Hopeful as hell that she wins the belt. My God, if she misses weight and loses too, even worse. But if she loses this fight, it's terrible. If she misses weight, we can still finagle the Amanda Nunes fight. So that's why I put worst case scenarios her missing weight so she can't become champ and Juliana holds on to the title unless they vacated and then did Nunes versus Harrison for the vacant belt at 35. But how could you even do that? How could you explain to fans you do it when you got a Harrison that's never been able to make the weight and then if she misses it here? Yeah, a lot at stake. And I think Kayla Harrison's going to destroy, okay? It should be a walk in the park. They got beef. This is actually one of the underrated fights on the card. It's a good co-main event. It's one of the best women's fights as far as like heated rivalry goes. And I think a good little back and forth between the ladies, both yapping at one another. It's personal. There's beef on it. And Kayla Harrison's going to want to punch Juliana Pena in the face repeatedly. And I think she's live to knock her ass out. Next up, Patchy Mix totally sells against the mid. Now I hear it. Oh, what? Mario Batista's in the top 15. Patchy Mix is supposed to be a world-class talent. For years, I was hearing Patchy Mix could be the best bantamweight in the world. Patchy Mix could beat O'Malley. Patchy Mix this. Patchy Mix that. Patchy Mix dominating Bellator. If he loses to Mario Batista in a UFC debut, I mean, that's a worst case scenario for his whole career. Like, fuck just this card, a worst case scenario. Patchy Mix would seemingly be like out of the picture and like, okay, he got fraud checked. It's over now. It would be a fraud check because he has advantages over Batista everywhere. Patchy Mix is the better grappler, slicker with submissions by a damn mile. Remember the Damon Blackshear fight? Everybody forgets. It's like, oh, well, Mario's pretty tough. I see people picking Mario. I'm going Patchy Mix, confident. I believe in Patchy. I don't think he sells. This is why it's a worst case scenario. Patchy Mix striking is not elite, but he's got knockouts. Patchy Mix knows how to box. He's got a decent enough kickboxing game. His wrestling is really good. His grappling is even better. His jiu-jitsu skills and his submission threats, specifically the gillies, pretty fucking terrifying. And I think he could catch Mario Batista in a submission. But if it goes all three and Patchy outworks him for 3 rounds, especially if Patchy can dominate position. Like, let's say Patchy Mix can get this fight to the ground and backpack Mario Batista. Even if he doesn't get the finish, I still think that's impressive. If he dominates Batista, that's really best case scenario. If he wins, even in a 29-28, it's like, okay, good, he pulled it off. But then we're going to start doubting where he's going with it, because he's been training with Marab for years. And supposedly I've heard things behind the scenes that maybe he got the better of Marab in training, but a fight's a fight, training is training. Patchy's got 3 rounds on the same card as the Bantamweight Championship fight to make us care. Bellator guys, been trash lately in the UFC, right? Bellator had, Patricio come over, legend of Bellator, and I was fucking singing his praises, looking like a moron post-fight, but I was singing his damn praises because I watched Patricio in his prime. If Patchy Mix loses, my God, bro. Bellator's dead, but also their fighters getting destroyed coming into the UFC. That's a hard fall off. Right now, Patchy Mix is the debut that has the highest level of expectation. He's 31. He's in his prime. He's fighting a Mario Batista who's good but beatable. I think this is a perfect matchup for him. He's not fighting a thunderous power puncher. He's not fighting a slick striking technician. He's fighting a guy that outdogs people. Good wrestling, solid kickboxing, but Mario Batista is still toe-to-toe with Damon Blackshear. Mario Batista got a nitty-gritty, competitive, and maybe even controversial win against the older Jose Aldo, who just lost as a hobby. Granted, he had big moments. Patchy Mix should dominate. If Patchy Mix is actually a legit contender, this should be one-way traffic, and it should be a statement. If he goes out there and submits Mario Batista, he puts the whole fucking division on notice. And a submission win for Patchy Mix, if I was in that bantamweight division, I'd be shitting myself too. Rob Font right now gets ran over by Patchy Mix. I got no doubt about it. Mario Batista ranked at 10. Patchy's got good matchups all ahead of him. Marlon Vera's a good matchup. Davison Figueiredo. Shit, Song Yadong, Patchy Mix. If there's a sub W for Patchy in this one, you give him a Song Yadong fight next, that goes hard as fuck. That's a top contender fight for both of them, really. That puts him right in the mix. If he calls out Umar Nurmagomedov, if he's got the stones to call out Umar after this win, that would be perfection. And I'll keep my fingers crossed that we get it happening. Next up, stay on the main card, of course. We got Joe Pyfer winning a split decision. He's not going to lose to Kelvin Gastelum. I don't think there's a world where, unless we're at elevation, he loses to a middleweight, chubbed up Kelvin Gastelum who doesn't seem to have that oomph anymore. Like, even when he was losing to Chris Weidman back in the day, he was delivering some thunderous shots. Like, Kelvin had a run at middleweight. He was always supposed to be a welterweight, but he had a run at middleweight. He's looked old fast, and he's one of the guys that's in his earlier 30s that looks washed, but it happens at different rates for people. He's been in a ton of wars, and with all the years of dialing in, like, you can tell he likes his food. I mean, he was doing that podcast, The Missing Weight Show, not a podcast. It's like a food tasting show on his damn YouTube channel. And he comes off weight. And then his fight against Rodriguez has moved up to 85. And he didn't even look good against D-Rod. He won that fight by wrestling a bit against a D-Rod who is, naturally smaller, was preparing for 170 and not a high caliber wrestler. Good boxer, knocked out Ponzi, but come on. Now he's fighting Joe Pyfer, who, supposedly has the hardest punch in the world. I don't really buy that, but I think he hits fucking hard. Joe Pyfer can crack for sure. His hands are slick. He could be the first guy that puts Kelvin Gastelum to bed. That's a best case scenario. If he knocks out blockhead Kelvin Gastelum, the hype is right back on Pyfer. I'm not writing Pyfer off. I thought he was doing well even in that Jack Hermanson fight early. If it was a 3-round fight, he wins the decision. He should be able to beat up a Kelvin Gastelum. If they're grappling, Pyfer's winning the positional battle. If they're striking, Pyfer's landing the bigger shots. If somehow he gasses, Gastelum makes it close, and this ends up being a split decision win for Joe Pyfer, the hype is dead. The tires deflate at a record rate for him there. He's having a harder fall off than Bo Nickel if he goes out there. And even if he wins a split decision, my God, if he fucking loses, he's not going to lose. He's a part of the Lock City parlay for a reason. Pyfer's not losing the fight. But if he doesn't look good and he doesn't put on a great performance, then I really think that the opportunity of fighting on this pay-per-view in the big spot in New Jersey kind of shows us, okay, well, he's not going towards the top, but maybe he's a top 15. But I see Joe Pyfer as a bit better than that. I could see him getting some knockouts against top 15, top 10 guys. And I think it starts with destroying Kelvin Gastelum. Even if it's a decision, it could be a club and sub. I think it should be handily, one-sided, ass whooping, not a competitive fight. Next up, Joshua Van gets fraud checked. I know what you might be thinking. Wait, what about Kevin Holland's fight? I'll talk about that as an honorable mention, but it's not a top 5. I think Joshua Van getting fraud checked, because you can say he got fraud checked by Charles Johnson, but he didn't. Charles Johnson caught him with the perfect shot. Johnson's been on fire. The difference is Bruno Silva seems to be slowly but surely falling off. He's 35 now. He was getting boxed up by Cody Durden before landing the perfect counter shot. He seems to have lost his stride. Now, look at the Manel Kopp fight stoppage. Yes, controversial, but he was getting his ass handed to him against Manel Kopp. To be fair, though, Bruno's not giving up on himself. He's still throwing big shots. He gave up on himself at the end. That groin shot broke him, but it's a fucking illegal strike, and then Kopp's all over him with big shots and an insane barrage and gets the stoppage and a performance of the night bonus with the groin shot that led up to it. How crazy is that? Modern MMA. Wow. The 2020s, we still got shit happening that probably should have been phased out in 2006. But whatever. If Joshua Van loses to an old Bruno Silva, it's a problem. This is a Van showcase fight chance. Van's boxing is better. His hands are faster. He's got big body shots that he rips. Nice combination strikes. He's slick. He's elusive. He should be a lock. Yes, the odds suck. The over is a money call, though. I think they do go distance. I think Van boxes up Bruno Silva in a hard fight over 3 rounds. But a fight that Van is clearly winning, but Silva's not giving up on himself and still throwing heat till the very end. Joshua Van getting fraud checked, I think that's a travesty. Joshua Van losing to Bruno Silva would be worst case scenario. Because right now he's a star-studded prospect with a menacing style of boxing pressure. I'm not trying to compare him to Jack Della Maddalena, but like a little flyweight Jack Della vibe. Takedown defense is there. Get up games on point. Got caught by a nasty uppercut by Charles Johnson. But I felt like he was starting to come on strong, but got hit with the perfect shot. It is what it is. Charles Johnson's a dangerous striker and a vet, a grizzled vet. Joshua Van's in his early 20s right now. And I think he gets past, though, the aging Bruno Silva, who's also frame-wise a good stylistic matchup for him. Now, before I jump to the main event, I want to say this. The reason the Kevin Holland fight's not there is because it doesn't really matter. A worst-case scenario for the fight is it's a boring fight. Luque wrestle fucks him. That's probably a worst-case scenario. But regardless of who wins, I don't think it's necessarily a bad outcome. It's either Luque with a resurgence, has a great performance. Best-case scenario, Luque is knocking Kevin Holland on his ass. Worst-case scenario is the fight sucks. Best-case scenario for Holland is he's knocking Luque out or darsing him. The fight sucking is a worst case, and I felt like Joshua Van getting fraud checked had more weight to it than that. But we do got to get to the final worst case scenario, the main event, the one they've all been waiting for. Sean O'Malley loses again. Oh, well, no, Merab is one of the greatest of all time. Chill. Chill for a second. Sean O'Malley looks better than ever. Oh, but how do you know? He looks in amazing physical condition. I've never seen him seem so confident in himself on the mic. This is Father O'Malley in his 30s now. This isn't young boy O'Malley partying with the fucking Nelk boys. This is Sean O'Malley that's dialed into the fight game. He's not trying to be an influencer anymore. He's looking to become a 2-time world champion. 3-time if you include his title defense. And I think that Sean O'Malley goes out there and fights way better than he did last time. Him getting wrestle-fucked and losing like last time but worse, that's terrible. That'd be horrible. But him losing in general hurts the UFC. We need a champion that has some star power. And I know the naysayers are out there. O'Malley's not a star, this, and that. But from personal encounters with casuals, when Sean O'Malley is in title fights, Everybody's talking about it. I had people asking me questions. Oh, bro, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? In real life, my real life encounters. Maybe the views on his embeddeds in this, and that is not crazy. But overall, the fan interest of what happens in a Sean O'Malley fight is high. From my personal experience of talking to people and people in chat too, a lot of the community is Team O'Malley. I think he's going to look slick. I think he's going to hold his ground in this fight. I think he's going to land multi-shot combinations. I think he can hurt Merab in this fight. The key is not allowing Merab to bully him. Keeping pressure on Merab for O'Malley, it inhibits the offensive wrestling. I'm sure O'Malley is live to get taken down a couple times, but I'm expecting a better get-up game than ever before. The torn labrum in the hip, looking back at the last performance, did he not seem uncharacteristically gun-shy? Did he not seem more hesitant than we've ever seen? I think we got the best version of O'Malley ever Saturday, and people are going to find out. They're ready to write him off. I understand. Merab, I'm hearing it now. He's the GOAT of bantamweight. Can we chill where everybody that defends a belt one time is the bantamweight GOAT at this point? Defend the belt once, bantamweight GOAT. Dom Cruz doesn't exist. He's the bantamweight GOAT, guys. No. Merab's beatable. Let's not act like he wasn't rocked by Henry Cejudo. Let's not act like Marlon Moraes didn't nearly have him out of there. Let's not act like Umar Nurmagomedov didn't put up a fight. Sean O'Malley's got more power than Umar. He's sharper with his striking. Sure, Umar's wrestling is better. But I think Sugar Sean O'Malley could actually look really great here. And this is his chance to really prove what level he is. And a win puts O'Malley, I think, back into that superstardom bracket. I'm not trying to say it's that McGregor era, but he was always pushed as the next McGregor. That was the issue, though. He's the first Sean O'Malley. But let's not act like McGregor didn't lose to Nate Diaz, then come back and beat Eddie Alvarez and Diaz. I think Sean O'Malley looks good here. I think Sean O'Malley is in better shape, more muscle on him. Said he's been lifting some weights and grappling strength doubles in fucking intensity when you're also putting some weights on, you know what I'm saying, those muscles too. When you're hitting some fucking heavy lifts on top of doing grappling, you're going to become ox strong. And I think that's what O'Malley needs against a guy who's fucking ox strong in Merab that's been wrestling his whole life. Let's not act like O'Malley doesn't have a crazy striking advantage when he lets his striking go. And I'm hearing Merab's talking about wrestling more in this fight. Why is it that I feel Merab wrestling more is a bigger risk? Him going out there, confidently backing O'Malley up striking and then mixing in takedowns was a fucking perfect strategy last time. This time, if he just starts playing the wrestling game, there's a tell as he goes down. There's body shots that could land, knees to the body, uppercuts, front kicks even. O'Malley can get out of range and avoid and then let some big punch combinations fly. I think we see the most on-point O'Malley ever. Can the most on-point O'Malley ever beat Merab? Has Merab gotten better since the Umar fight? I mean, you could say, yeah, for sure. He's going to be about that. Merab's going to be looking to bring pressure, take Sean O'Malley's ass to the ground, and beat him up like last time. But I feel like O'Malley's going to be tougher to control this time, harder to take down, going to be quicker to get back up to his feet. And when he's striking, he's going to be throwing with commitment to his shots. He wasn't committing to shit last fight, which sold him in the end. But I think in this one, he's going to sit down on some hard punches and kicks. I think the teeps up the center, the strikes to watch, knees to the body, strikes to watch, and straights down the line are strikes to watch. Sean O'Malley can win this fight. It comes down to also fighting the hands well in the clinch. I think he's going to look better. I think his comfortability in the clinch positions will be better too. He's seen what Merab does. He knows the Merab style now. How much, right? Is it, the first time, well, damn, I didn't feel his strength before. He's strong as fuck. Says he wasn't grappling leading up to the first fight. You can call bullshit on that if you want. Or you can trust O'Malley. I don't know why he has a reason to lie. No social media O'Malley. I'm saying this is O'Malley 2.0. This is father of a son O'Malley as well. He just had a son 10 days ago. I think he's looking to be not Sugar anymore, but he's looking to be Sean O'Malley, the fighter. Not Sugar, the influencer, popular with, just people on social media hanging out. I still think he's got the star power, but I think he's going to also turn more hardcores over that have been on the anti-O'Malley side for a long time. There's a lot of the O'Malley overrated crew. I see it in the chat. I see it online. I think Sean O'Malley puts on a damn good fight here. I think he looks sharp on the feet. I think he looks slick. And him losing will be terrible. We need it, man. We need it. We lost Pereira. We got Ankalaev at the top. That's fine. We got Jack Della now. Things are turning around nicely, beating Bilal. We got Taporia fighting Oliveira. It's a big fight. I think Islam's still a star-studded talent regardless of, the base of wrestling. Islam's entertaining as fuck, and he's a maestro. And I think we get Sean O'Malley winning. It's kind of like bringing the UFC back. We need it, man. We're at an all-time low. May was terrible for the UFC. The first half of 2025 might be one to forget for the UFC. But I think the second half of 2025, things are going to turn up. And I think Sean O'Malley getting the win kind of brings everything back to balance, man. Brings it all to homeostasis again. And I think the year is going to be finished out strong for the UFC. And I think Sugar Show puts on a star-studded performance against the best win, I'd say, of his damn life. And yeah, him losing, fucking worst case scenario of the whole bunch. And I see a W coming. Those are my 5 worst case scenarios for UFC 316. Definitely let me know in the comments which ones you agree with. Do you agree with all 5? Do you disagree? Do you got your own? I think a lot of the community is definitely going to be locked in with the O'Malley thing. But let me know if you disagree. Some of you might think O'Malley winning's the worst case. You're a Merab Goblin supporter forever. To be fair, Merab's a nice guy. I like Merab. But I think O'Malley as the champ is way better. The striking style is way more exciting to watch. The slick hands are next level. And he's like an enter the matrix style of striker. O'Malley's one of a kind on the feet. And I want to see more of that in championship fights. And I think it only grows the sport with O'Malley going out and winning because those unique striking styles, they bring a lot of fan eyes and attention. So that's the calls, man. Hit the damn like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Let me know, too, if you're happy this series is back. You want me to keep this series going for the pay-per-views? We got 2 this month. Maybe we can get a little double month of worst-case scenarios. W in the comments, too, if you got nothing to say. I love you all. Thank you guys for watching. Hit subscribe and like on your way out, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.